Hi guys, good morning. It is super cold where I'm at right now, but I didn't want to show up in my night suit again like yesterday. So I tried pulling this random thing out of my wardrobe, which is Narnia right now. But this is the best I could do. Anyway, um, I actually had this thought and I wanted to come on here and talk about it. It's about expecting the worst in people and in situations. And this is something that also I have thought about a lot, and in my healing journey, I've heard this several times where we're told to think about, well, what's the worst that could happen, right, in a situation? How bad can it get? And then think about the worst case scenario and think about the best case scenario. And then you realize it's not going to be all that bad, or at least you're prepared for the worst. I realized that that's a whole lot of nonsense because I've tried it so many times. And for people like us, if you're anything like me, I feel like the worst case scenario will actually make us just not do the thing at all if you're going to take your mind there. The best case scenario, we know somewhere in the back of our head that it's probably not going to be the best case scenario, but it could be the worst case scenario because that's just how our mind works. And then we end up just not going out there and doing the things that we want to do because we convince ourselves that it's not all that, it's fine, I cannot do it, it won't make a difference. And I feel like we tend to give up on a lot of opportunities, a lot of friendships, because it just seems too tiring doing so much internal work before the actual thing itself, that the actual thing, there is no energy left to do it. And we just convince ourselves that forget it. And I myself have lost out on so many opportunities, so many connections, because I find way too much comfort in just being by myself. And I convince myself that, solitude is good. Sitting with yourself is good. But all the time, it's like you withdraw from the world and then you want to have nothing to do with it anymore. And let's be honest, we do live in a world where being a part of it is essential, a little bit at least. You've got to go out and do something for yourself, be somebody. You have all these hopes and dreams, but you constantly convince yourself that it's not important. Forget it, I'm fine, I don't need it. And then eventually we end up at a point in our life where we realize that everyone's probably way ahead of us. They seem to be doing this very easily. And here we are just, just left behind, right? And I think expecting the worst in people has become such a big, part of who we are, that we tend to shut down in front of people way too many times. And either I feel like we just keep having these interactions with people in our head before we've actually met them. We try to play out scenarios in our head before they actually happen, convincing ourselves that we're preparing for the scenario, right? But in that, if you notice, if you pay attention, we always take it out to the negative side. Like, what if someone says this to me? I'll reply like this, or I'll say this. And we end up meeting the world from a place of a lot of sorry, there was something on my screen. We end up meeting the world from a place of a lot of resentment and anger. And we're always ready for people to say something mean to us or put us down. And I think it comes from the fact that we have experienced this a lot as people who are just quieter and people who are non-confrontational. You tend to attract a lot of people into your life who want someone like that so that they can offload their own negativity onto you, and they know that you are not going to respond. And so we tend to be a little more aggressive in our approach to the world. And it doesn't help because at the end of the day, we already struggle with a worldly interaction. We already struggle with this chaos of thoughts in our head. Now, adding resentment and anger to that just makes it all the more heavier. And you might think that you are on a healing journey where you're approaching the world with more confidence because of these thoughts, because of being ready for the worst case scenario, being ready for people to show you the worst version of themselves. But actually, you're just going out into the world more scared and more expecting uh, the worst of the world, right? And I have tried to switch this now, where I try to think that it doesn't matter, because the opposite of that is also not right. Expecting the best case scenario, that I'm going to get the best of the world when I go outside, and then that doesn't always happen, and then you're like, this is a whole load of nonsense, and it doesn't work. So for me, I expect nothing now. I expect nothing when I meet the world. I expect nothing when I meet people. I do notice that sometimes people are purposely mean. They want to make themselves feel better by saying something to you or reacting a certain way to you. And I have found myself just completely ignoring it, just feeling sorry for these people, and just acting like, that's not my burden to carry. You wanted to make yourself feel better by putting someone else down. I feel sorry for you and for whatever's going on in your life, but it's not something that I need to take home with me, right? So I don't really worry about how people view me anymore, because I realized that I viewed a lot of people in the past doing very unnecessary things, and they don't seem to care about it. And they don't seem to care about what I'm thinking or what anybody else is thinking. They're living their life. They're going to go home without any realization of the fact that people didn't like what they do, or they thought, or people thought that that was weird or strange or anything. And by that, I don't mean go out and punch people in the face and say, I don't care what anybody thinks. Not like that. But just holding your own space, even in a crowd, holding your own space outside in the world, and not letting anybody in there, right? Just respecting yourself enough to know that I will not let you into my space, I will not let you into my energy. And this is something that comes with practice. But honestly, the first time you do it, it feels really good. Like, you don't see yourself as a victim in the world, but you see yourself as somebody who deserves to be here, somebody who knows what they're doing, somebody who stands by their thoughts and their beliefs. And it's very difficult to explain, actually, but I had this experience lately when I was at the airport, where I asked someone for help, and they just, like, very in a very mean way, pointed me towards somebody who works there, like they didn't even say anything. They were just like, and so I was like, fine. And then I went and I asked that person, and that person couldn't figure out what to do. And then this person who sent me there just walked up to me with this very, like, sly look on their face, and was like, here, you can do this, like, just and then left with this smirk on their face. They're kind of like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. And for the first time, I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, you could have helped me when I asked you. Or you could have been nice about going and asking that person. You knew what to do to help me. You didn't want to do it. You wanted me to feel bad. And I realized in a different time in my life, I would have never gone back to an airport ever again for the rest of my life. Sorry, but I realized this time, it's not my problem. You're a mean piece of shit. It's not my problem. It's fine. I got the help I needed. I'm going to move on. And when you realize there are so many people who actually recognize this terrible behavior from other people, they're not looking at you like you got insulted or you did something wrong. They're looking at that person and thinking, why would they act like that, you know? So just this basic perspective change in life, where you do not expect anything from anybody. You don't expect the best or the worst from anybody. You're just going out there holding your own space and getting the work done. Whatever it is that you're there to do, you're getting it done. And I think I have been showing up better in the world, getting things done for myself, as opposed to waiting for somebody to come with me or accompany me or do it for me. I think I'm okay right now not knowing things, because I realize I have started out very late in life trying to be a part of the world. I have been hidden for so long. I have just done that to myself because it felt easier. It felt more comfortable not being around people, not being around people's moods and actions and the chaos of the world. But now I realize that I too want to do a lot of things with my life. Yes, for a long time I did feel that I missed the bus. I'm too late now. I don't think I can achieve the things that I want to. And honestly, now it's not even about achievement. Now it's just about respecting myself enough to know that yes, everyone's not the same, everyone's not had the same life story, and it's okay to meet the world where you're at, as long as you don't meet the world with a lot of resentment and anger, and you're not looking for someone to victimize and to put down to make yourself feel better. It's completely okay, right? And having said that, I've had a lot of experiences where I have tried over the years to do something, and like I said in my previous video, made a complete fool of myself in my head. I don't know if I have in front of other people or what they thought of it, but in my head, I was so convinced that, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I don't know what I'm doing. Of course, I won't know what I'm doing. I haven't been doing this so easily for so many years, but for me, it's a bigger effort doing this. So I need to learn, and unless I get past those initial few times of learning, I'm not going to learn. And I thought I was the only person on this planet who didn't know what I was doing with life. But luckily, thankfully, in the last few years, I have realized that no, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us who have spent the initial years of our life where we should have been learning, where we should have been understanding the world. We've spent it for other people. We've spent it making other people comfortable, being there for other people, being that sort of anchor for other people. And then now, when we realize that we want to do something for ourselves, we realize that I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to prioritize myself. I don't know how to respect myself. I don't know what my opinions are. And it's all just tough right now. But it'll happen. It'll happen eventually, you know. If you could do so much to support somebody else, if you could make somebody else's life so much easier, it's very difficult to know exactly what somebody else wants, but somehow intuitively we just knew we were that person, right? Who everyone else relies on, and it's just what we've been doing our whole childhood and early adulthood and whatever. And so imagine what you can do for yourself. You always know what you need if you just sit with yourself and ask yourself these questions. Eventually the answers come. So if I could do such a good job for everybody around me, I suspect I could do pretty well for myself as well. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes and how things play out. But I really wanted to call this out, that we do expect the worst in people and the worst of the world, and then we don't want to be a part of it anymore, because we're like, what is the point of this world even? Everyone's just so mean and so problematic, and I just don't want to be here anymore. What is the point? Everybody hates each other, everybody's looking down on each other, people just don't want to accept that there are different kinds of human beings here. Everyone deserves respect as long as they're not bothering anybody else, and they have their own sort of aspirations and things like that, and it's okay to give everybody respect and kindness. But the world sort of teaches you that kindness is weak. You have to be like this concept of tough love and stuff like that. I don't believe in it. Love should be love. I don't think you need to teach anybody things like that. You're propagating the whole struggle then if you do that, I feel. You're making things difficult for people, teaching them to expect difficulty in the world and look for difficulty. And if there is no difficulty in achieving something, that means that thing was easy. That means it wasn't worth achieving in the first place. You have to struggle through things in order to feel this sense of achievement or this sense of progress in your life. And I don't agree with it. I think struggles just make you look for more struggles. But when you're faced with an obstacle, I think you should meet it with a lot of practicality and a lot of kindness and a lot of self-belief. Don't immerse yourself in it. Don't associate with the struggle. Just look for a practical way to get out of it, and there is always a practical way to get out of it. You don't have to react to it and show the world that it's rough and I'm what do you call it? I'm going through the storms and I don't know, I don't remember all those sayings now, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. You could just be like, find another situation. I'm sure there's a way to get out of it, and I will. That's just it, you know. And stop expecting anything from the world and from people, best, worst, whatever. Like, who the hell cares? Like, I expect nothing from anybody. I'm just here to do my thing. Yeah, I'm going to mind my business. And I am going to meet the world from a place of kindness and niceness. And I know that I expect nothing in return from anybody for it. It's not like a give and take that I'm nice to you, must be nice to me. You can meet me wherever you're at. I understand. It's fine. I think we really need people to be understanding like that in this world. Everyone's looking to fight each other and things like that. But it's nice to have people who are not interested in that at all. So, yeah. Yeah, stop expecting things from people. Stop. I mean, when you go out into the world today, just go out as you, expecting nothing from anybody or anything. Just being willing to give kindness and understanding to the world while holding your personal space. So if anybody is deliberately irritating or evil or mean, know that I'm just gonna remove myself from this situation. I don't want to engage with you. I don't know what's wrong with you, what you're going through. I can't solve your problems for you, and I'm not your punching bag. So bye. That way. And when you have to stand up for yourself, sure. But the thing with standing up for yourself, I always see is that someone like comes and pokes you or like steps into your personal space, and now you're at their mercy. Now you have to give response or stand up for yourself, and you don't have to. Just walk away from it. Don't fall for the bait. That's what they want. They want a confrontation. They want something. Just I don't associate with you. I feel bad for you. Why are you acting like that? Okay, bye. That's what I do now, and that really gets to people even more. But it's not that I'm doing it with the intention to get to them or something. I really don't care anymore. So yeah, if that made any sense. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.